Alright, ladies and gentlemen, sorry for the wait, but we are going to be heading straight into Illumination versus Rawr, the second match for tonight. For anyone just joining us tonight, I am your host, Alk Battery. Pleased to meet all of you guys. Illumination, they are our first place team at 8-1, so looking very, very strong. And Rawr 6-3, second place though, right behind Illumination. So very interested to see how they're going to be able to turn out and get the result this game. Just looking at these bans already, we're going to be seeing Anivia and Jace already being taken from the side of Illumination, already going to be getting a ban. Warwick also seeing a ban alongside Vi. Jace being seen a little bit in the mid lane and in top lane. That smite mid meta is really disgusting, so something with the Jace is able to clear the Raptors really, really quickly and get to that level 2 super fast, and obviously abuse that lane matchup. And we see the Vel'Koz also being banned, so a lot of priority on the solo lanes, both top and mid lane for the side of Illumination. Let's see how that's going to actually turn out. Now we do actually have the real Rune Mage here, this game at least, but 3 junglers being banned. 3 junglers already being banned away from Chazazar. Sorry, I'm really bad with names, but I mean Warwick, Vi, and Kindred. Kindred's obviously seeing a lot of play right now. Just a very good jungler, is able to move around the map very quickly, especially with the buffs that she just received. I think it was 2 patches ago, or maybe even, yeah, I think it was definitely 2 patches ago. You do see for the side of Illuminations picking up the Misfortune. Super strong champion, is able to get a lot of that lane priority down, and maybe even in team fights you're able to get some of the bullet time, the ultimate, to do a lot of damage. And the Taric being hovered and finally being taken for the side of Rawr. Taric is a very strong team fight champion, especially using that ultimate, and just the stun in lane with the heal is very, very abusable, and the attack speed, or the instant attacks, auto attacks are super, super strong and allow him to get the cooldown reduction abuse. Malzahar being picked up for the middle. Actually, it's Swain. There we go. So Swain, super strong mid laner, can also be swapped both to top and to bot lane. So you do see some of the mages being there. So Swain is always really disgusting to play against. So at least for me, especially bot lane, I've already played it a couple times, and it's just, as someone who likes to play the traditional AD carries, playing against and as Swain is very, very unfun. But we do see the bot lane, going back to this game, you do see the bot lane for Illumination already being picked up, the Zyra and Misfortune. Now that is definition of a poke lane. I really feel bad for these guys on the bot side for Rawr. To be living from health potion to health potion to flash heal, all that kind of stuff, trying to survive. Also Jax being picked up. We did see Jax actually getting played last game by the Mags. Not a super strong performance, as they did pick up the loss there, but Jax is still obviously has his strengths in the 1v1 and in the towards the late game as a split pusher, so hopefully we'll see a different performance. But now we do see that the last pick for Rawr in the first pick phase is going to be a Malzahar, always a strong mid laner. Can obviously be flexed. I've seen it top lane a couple times, but not super frequently. And now as you see the Ornn being banned, I mean, for right now, the top side, Jax can obviously be flexed to top side for Illumination, so we might be able to see something like that. But with the bot lane and with the jungle already being picked up, it allows them to ban something like a Kai'Sa, which is obviously a super strong pick right now. I don't know if I'd be banning, well, maybe we see Exile pick up the Swain here at this game. They're able to comfortably ban 80 carries, and they're going to be banning a lot of top laners now. So the Gnar and the Ornn being taken away from Bisharp there. So double 80 carry bans here for the last pick ban. So 2 top, 2 bot. Lucian being a super strong champion right besides Kai'Sa. Kai'Sa is able to get out of that laning phase. I feel like they're actually polar opposites, as Kai'Sa has a little bit of a weaker laning phase, but her late game is insane, while Lucian's mid to mid game, is incredibly strong. So we'll see what they're going to be picking up. They're going to see the Ezreal being thrown in the bot lane for Tumble OP. So looking to get some mid-game pressure with the early game power spikes of tier and all that kind of stuff. Maybe you might see a little bit of a double tier, as they do have a lot of a late game team fight with Malzahar and Swain. They have the Taric, who can give them, you know, some of that utility using the invulnerable ult. And we do see the Zed being picked up for Rune Mage, one of a favorite champs for him. So yeah, I mean that's going to be a super fun lane to be playing up against, depending if it's a Swain or Malzahar. Most likely going to be a Swain mid lane, or a Malzahar mid lane. Sorry. I mean, Zed's always had really strong matchups, and with, you know, more and more mages being sent out into the bot lane right now, I'm really interested to see how this lane matchup is going to go. We do see the Darius being picked up finally for Bisharp, so a heavy attack damage profile, so interested to see how they're going to be able to itemize and get an advantage. Zyra and Misfortune doing a little bit of magic damage alongside Jax, but I mean, for right now, I mean, if they pick the Rammus here, Rawr is looking to pick it up right now. I mean, that is a lot of attack damage on the side of Illumination. If they're not able to get that early game and get that, you know, rolling, this Zed is going to slowly start disappearing. And I mean, the Jax and Darius are not going to be able to do too much when everyone is just stacking Ninja Tabbies, Seeker's Arm Guard, Zonias, all that kind of stuff. That's going to be a little bit of a problem for them. So, and obviously they have the Taric, so that right there is going to give so much to this Ezreal. And if he builds Iceborne Gauntlet, he's going to basically just have an infinite amount of armor. So I'm really interested to see how Illumination, being that they are the #1 seed right now, interested to see how they're going to be able to get this game rolling for them. As we wait to go into game, we do have the 3-minute wait time. Just going from lane to lane, Swain should be able to pretty easily farm with the Darius there. Darius is going to try and push out that wave, hopefully not get poked out from the Never Move or the Death's Hand. Jax versus Rammus, while I'm not too knowledgeable about this, as Rammus is not very well seen, but I'm assuming Jax should still have a little bit of an advantage, as he can clear a lot faster than Rammus, and while Rammus does have Powerball to get around, Jax can still put up a little bit of a fight and try and move around the map a lot faster, especially with Counter Strike and Leap Strike and all that kind of stuff, get around lanes and jump walls, and get a lot. And obviously his damage to the jungle creeps is pretty insane with Counter Strike. Zed versus Malzahar, I mean, Zed is running Ignite to try and get that lane priority against the Malzahar, trying to get a couple kills on him. Malzahar should be able to freely push the wave after a couple of levels, and once he gets a couple of items, so either the Lost Chapter, he might pick up the tier, we'll have to see, but obviously the Seeker's Arm Guard right there, that Seeker's Arm Guard, either first or second item, is going to be insane. So Malzahar, the early levels with no items and not a lot of levels under his belt, is going to have a bit of a hard time trading and trying to push the wave against the Zed, but after the first couple of first 10 to 15 minutes, Malzahar should be easily just be able to set up, Voidlings and the Space Aids, just kind of instantly clear the wave while Zed has to try and force a fight on the Malzahar. This bot lane, just going for the bot lane as we slowly wind down into the game. Misfortune and Zyra, that right there is just going to be a constant poke lane. Ezreal should be able to stay pretty far and trying to get some Mystic shots out, trying to farm the wave, maybe try to equalize this wave, but Taric and Ezreal are going to be looking to try and just farm in a turret, make sure that they're not getting poked out too hard, utilizing the Taric heal and the armor that you obviously get. And actually we do see that Taric actually does take heal here, and Ezreal with the TP, so triple TP, making sure to put a lot of map pressure on this map, so very, very interested to see, as we do have 40 seconds left before we start the game. I know I see a couple of you, some hate for the G words, for the team that starts with G, but for Illumination and Rawr, if we have any fans for any people here for maybe Exile Color, or Bisharp, the Rune Mage. If you guys have or any fans of these people, or maybe just the teams by themselves, go ahead, throw some love. Make sure you throw their names in Twitch chat. I'm sure one of them is watching. Trying to get a little bit of a even past the 3-minute stream delay. It's fine, but it's always nice to show these people a little bit of that. That you care, and they're not just robots playing League of Legends in a bronze silver league. But now we are going to be going into game against with Illumination versus Rawr, first place versus second place. So kind of hype here. I'm pretty sure this doesn't actually mess up the standings, if I remember correctly, but still very much contentious. Yeah, so Illumination is actually 4 points ahead of Rawr, so they shouldn't be able to close that gap, but it'll definitely get a lot shorter, and they might be able to take it with another win tonight, and if Illumination loses. But going in right now, I mean, just looking at the runes right now, nothing too out of the ordinary. Darius taking the Conqueror. Swain with the Phase Rush, something interesting to see with Domination second, and then we don't see the Inspiration second like we do on the Malzahar. We could possibly take something like Stopwatch or get in the early boots, that kind of stuff. Now we do see Misfortune with Airy. That could be, it's different for everybody. As we also do see Ezreal has Domination second, so maybe taking Sudden Impact, trying to get those arcane shifts. But Misfortune with Airy, obviously we do see people do take it quite often. Some people do argue to try and take Arcane Comet, so you can get that you can get the E-Poke. You could also take Conqueror, which I've seen, which allows you to proc your Q, and you can do a lot of damage with that Conqueror, and you do a lot of passive damage with your passive, and with obviously the true damage from the first auto attack there. So lots of different runes that can be taken in Airy. One of the choices here today. So as we start into the game, just nothing out of the ordinary. We do see a minion dematerializer for the Malzahar, so looking to easily push the lanes very hard, trying to not, get anything. Just trying to make sure that he has that wave pressure and the amount of damage that he needs to be able to kill these minions to stop the Zed from constantly pressing him in the lane and make sure that nothing here. Something to note though, that Grim Lobo still hasn't left base, so maybe just a little bit of AFK. There you go. He's picking up the items now, so is able to finally make it out of base and is going to be able to match their team. That's such a nice 5-point. Like, look at that, guys. Look how beautiful that is. Just everyone standing in a position. You're always able to see anyone in jungle. It's like a cheerleaders right before they're about to start a game, and you're just looking at the end of the opponent. Look at them. Look at them go. Look at my little boys. So, whew. So it looks like Malzahar is going to be able to sit on that top side, and looks like both junglers, instead of going for opposite clears, they are going to be going both for this bot side clear, making sure they're going to try and, maybe contest for this scuttle. An early river ward. Something to note is the changes to wards a couple patches ago actually did make that wards, they take a little bit longer to spawn, or they last longer, but the cooldown for them is a lot longer, so just to see. Ooh, the red buff ends up going to Grim Lobo there, so Chazarzaz is going to be behind pretty significantly. No red buff. That's pretty oof, to be honest. Zyra's obviously taken with the 3 plant. Unfortunate, but I guess this does allow Illumination to get that early poke with the red buff, and obviously you have someone like the Zyra who can do a lot of damage with her plants and a lot of her abilities. So let's see how Illumination is going to be able to deal with a little bit of a misadvantage. And now actually, because of the advantage of getting that minion, is able to get level 2 a lot earlier than the rest of them. So trying to get a little bit of a trade here. Level 2 on Bisharp first before Exile. Trying to get some poke here. Trying to proc the Conquerors a little bit. You do see that both junglers are now on opposite sides of the jungle. You do see that Chazarzaz is going to be taking the Scuttle on the top side, while Color is going to be taking this bot side Scuttle, so trying to just keep it even right now. I mean, just in terms of jungle clear though, right now, Color is already ahead. He's gonna be able to get his wolves. He cleared his full bot side. Actually, he's even gone top right now. So now Chaz is gonna be able to go bot lane, get a little bit of a trying to catch up in CS. But right now, Color is showing some mighty fine, flying some really high colors. Just looking across the lanes right now. Yeah, this bot lane for the side of Rawr is going to suffer for the time being with Zyra and Misfortune constantly poking out the lane. It's going to have to be living from health pot to health pot, so let's see how they're able to, come back and make sure, see how they deal with this much pressure. Sadly, the root does not land from Grim Lobo, but still a lot of damage. Ooh, the Arcane Shift right into the Dens, and Dens is going to get first blood onto Tumble there. Misfortunate that he used the Arcane Shift there. Might have been a little misclick, but nevertheless, great job from Dens to get that. And now the TP coming straight in from Tumble. A lot of damage from this, and now Ben's is going to have to use double of their sums. The Ignite going on a Tumble having to use Flash and TP to come back to lane, and now it might have to just back, but Den's getting really low there. Nice Arcane Shift to try and get the damage and prioritize onto him. The root does land on the Tumble there, and this bot lane's showing to be very, very bloody. Hopefully, Rawr is going to be looking to kind of slow this down. The flash from Grim Lobo. Arcane Shift does make him miss the root there and the kill to even it out onto Grim Lobo there. And now we do see an engage. Color being caught out here. 2v2 now, 3v2 now, because now the mid laner, Bygone's now here, and the Arcane is going to go right onto Chaz, and actually he's blocking the Voidlings here with the counter strike. The silence comes out, and that is a 2-for-1 on the side of Rawr. Great job from the collapse there. Able to catch out a couple of people, and this, I mean, it's 5 minutes and already 5 kills, so maybe you're going for a kill a minute. It's going to be very, very fun to watch. Definitely a little bit more interesting, but see what happens. Large wave stacking here for the side of Exile. Hasn't backed yet. Has both his sums, while Bisharp does not have either of them. Did just use his TP. Is now able to back comfortably and get a little bit of turret damage, while Bisharp has to now push the wave back out. We do see Bygone Coder here. He hasn't backed either. Rune Mage is backing. He's able to get that Serrated Dirk for a little bit of more lethality. Is also picking up a Null Magic Mantle. But Bygone, great job holding the wave in front of the turret so that the turret 1 doesn't hit it, and they've actually able to hold the lane, and now the wave is going to slowly push. He's able to get a 2-wave press onto the turret. So the Rune Mage is going to have to, try and fight all of that, while Bygone is able to back and get a lot. Chief does actually land the stun there. The Arcane Shift comes out doing a lot of damage, and we do see that Tumble is able to actually back and get that. A lot of damage from that bullet. Great job from Dens there. Just looking across the map, I mean, Color still has a 3-camp lead after taking red earlier, and now we're going to see Grimlu doing a lot of damage. Grim Lobo, a lot of damage with the taunt there, or the root, sorry. Uh-oh, and it looks like Exile is looking to trade a little bit there. Does end up missing the Eye of the Empire, Vision of the Empire, and the Never Move. Just trying to get a lot more soul fragments so that when they use their ultimate for the demonic flare, they're able to get a lot more damage. And now Chaz is in mid lane trying to get the kill onto Bygone. This is a little bit unfortunate. Does have to try and proc the spell shield, or the shield that's on him in general, before they try to get that. Notice Color still hasn't backed, so he's still going to be a little bit weaker than Chaz. Chaz has already backed, got a Reju bead and double longsword. Color, while he is probably sitting on a larger gold advantage, he is going to be off the map for quite a bit longer than Chaz. He's going to have to back, get a lot more items, while you see an engage now. Bot lane, Grim Lobo taking a lot of damage, but Dens is able to get the kill first on a Tumble after a Arcane Shift. Tumble's being very aggressive with these Arcane Shifts, something that we don't typically see from Ezreal players, as they like to play about a screen and a half back, so very respectful from me, at least, to him, that he's able to play so aggressively. Might not be working out here, but we do see that Dens already has the Serrated Dirk, so he's going for the more lethality build instead of something like a Black Cleaver and Bork build. So going definitely for that early game. Now we're going to be waiting to see what happens here. It is still 4-3 for in favor of Rawr. And like I said earlier, I mean, Bygone Coder, he's just going to be able to sit here and just AFK farm this wave now. He can just put down the Malefic Dreams and just constantly push the wave towards Rune Mage. So Rune Mage is going to have to spend a lot more resources trying to push this wave back out. But we do see now, Chaz was able to catch up a little bit. I mean, it wasn't too much of a CS lead already, but excuse me, with Chaz being able to stay on the map a lot longer from an earlier back, you do see that now Color is, you know, the lead isn't super far. The gap has closed, boys. He does back, he does get his Tiamat now, and the Ruby Crystal, so looking to get a very fast clear, especially in terms of AoE camps, when you have something like the Raptors. With something like Counter-Strike and your use of the Tiamat, you should be able to clear a wave, or clear the camps pretty fast, so this will enhance his clear and allow him to get into those lanes a lot faster. Now, good thing from Tumble, you know, this wave is set up in a way where the wave is obviously going to sit towards the side of Dens, and they're actually able to just farm pretty comfortably from quite of a distance using Mystic Shot, or using Arcane Shot here, or sorry, Mystic Shot. The stun from Chief does go a little bit wide, but now Chaz and Color are both back here. Color has to flash, he's trying to use the ultimate, but the ult from Grim Lobo comes out, is able to get the kill. Chief getting a Ignite. Tumble is gonna go down, Grim Lobo with a double count. Now Color is gonna have to run for his life. Okay, from the Rammus, maybe trying to see the Powerball come out. Running straight towards Bygone. Rune Mage is not able to do anything, Color's gonna get out, but that is a 2-for-0 there for the side of Illumination. Great job from Dens there to try and get that trade. So bullet time coming out from Dens, trying to poke Tumble as soon as he comes out of the TP. And now Chaz, they do have the Illumination, they do have priority over the jungle, over this dragon. So they're going to be able to try and get this dragon. It is a Windrake, and now we see Bisharp being a little bit aggressive with his positioning here. Trying to get a little bit of trade as Exile doesn't have any mana, doesn't have TP, at least for another 15 to 20 seconds. Bisharp moving up, trying to push this wave before he has to back. Does already have his Black Cleaver, obviously. I mean, right now, Dens is playing this pretty well. Dragon now being taken for the side of Illumination. They're able to get the Windrake, which should help Chaz get into those rotations, and it helps with any champion running Celerity right now. Bisharp doing a lot of damage to Exile right now with his Conqueror proc, taking 3 turret shots in the face, being, you know, the flash here from Bisharp, and now the ultimate. Exile does get the kill first. He's able to actually get the Soul Fragment before he dies here. The shutdown, the Soul Fragment for Swain there, not, you know, too much of a big deal, but Bisharp is able to blow his flash and finally get the kill on Exile. Would have been misfortune if he did it, but now Exile picking up the Rod of the Ages for himself. And he's trying to get a little bit of a better trade there. Merc Tread's already out for Bisharp. Great job from him being, you know, a little bit aggressive there. Already has a CS lead, and now also has is trying to get that pressure top lane. So let's see what he does with it. Obviously, both TPs being up. Oh, that is half of Tumble's HP from a single double up. Impressive damage, to say the least. And already has his Yomus, while Ezreal is waiting on a couple more damage items. Only has his Sheen and Tier. So much damage, and now you see the Tumble backwards. Now I think that's the first for Tumble there. You see the Arcane shift backwards, and a lot of damage onto Chief there. The heal having to come out, but also the ultimate double ults coming out from the side. And now Color's here. Exile already TP down here. A lot of damage right now. Dens goes down, and Exile doing so much with the Death's Hand, showing him just how much damage Swain can do. And now they're looking to force this bot lane turret. Let's see who can race for it. Mid lane, a lot of damage. Bycoder also wasted his TP, so let's see who takes it first. Demolish from Color, trying to do a lot, takes a lot of damage. Now mid lane being pressed for the side of Illumination, and they are probably going to get this first, so good job on them, but they might actually lose. They're going to lose a lot of pressure on these side waves. Illumination recognizing, alright, well guess what, we're probably not going to get these, so Rawr, while taking the bot turret, this mid lane being dealt a lot of damage right now, being taken really low, the top lane being taken really low, so Chaz obviously helping Rune Mage. There we go. The mid lane turret has been taken down, and while now all of them have to back, top lane turret also being taken. Exile's back doesn't get cancelled there, even though you did get auto attack. So, Rito, fix your game, please. Definitely bug-ridden, unplayable, literally unplayable. You see that color being a little bit aggressive, taking the red buff here, so he's able to get out using defensive ball curl, if I remember what it's called. Bygone Coder is going to have to come back in the lane, try and push this out, but really, I mean, right now Rawr is put at a pretty big deficit now. No TPs on any of their champions. They have to stay in these mid and top waves before, you know, Bisharp or Rune Mages run over and try and get even more turrets. So while the play ball lane was ambitious and they were able to actually gain a little bit from it, Illumination in the end came pretty far ahead for it. So now Illumination, with so much pressure in their mid and top wave, they're actually able to secure the Rift Herald. For right now, it looks like they're going to try and stack this mid wave as the bot lane is going to naturally push towards the side of Illumination. Rawr looking to try and catch a little bit up in terms of objective pressure, trying to get either the mid or the top wave. Exile slowly pushing solo by himself up there. But, I mean, that is, again, half of Tumble's HP right there with a single double up. So, Tumble's going to have to be really careful with Dens right now, as, I mean, right now Rune does have a longsword and his Merc Treads, and he has the Yomus alongside Dens, who also has his Yomus. That's going to be super potent right there. Let's see what Illumination is going to be able to do. Ooh, and it does like Grim Lobo is going to have to blow their flash, trying to be a little bit safe against this Taric Ezreal. They do not have any vision on the enemy jungler or top lane, except for right now. This vision in the top side of the map for the side of Illumination is super impressive. They've got the Control Ward in the top bush, they've got Control Ward in the Rift Herald, the Rift Pit. They've got, well, now Ward already taken, but they had wards in this river. So great job from Illumination with the amount of vision they have in this top side, with the amount of dominance. And actually an arcane shift forward, and now Tumble taking a lot of damage. The ultimate bullet time coming out. Grim Lobo actually does end up getting the kill in the Tumble, and now they're going to be chasing Exile and Chief. Great job from Rune Mage. Does have to use Flash and Ignite, but does get the kill on the Chief. Darius going under turret, gets the ult down from Bygone Coder. Doesn't do too much except dissuade him from now diving under that turret. But Illumination looking really thirsty for a couple of kills and looking really proactive to try and set these people behind them. While the Never Move does land a lot of damage onto Color, Color gets taken down really quickly. Exile trying to get the Demonic Flare. Rune Mage super low, and it looks like the Ezreal, the True Shot Barrage, is not going to land this time. Exile getting the root onto Exile, or sorry, Grim Lobo getting in. But now it looks like they are going to try to take this top wave with the Rift Herald. Rift Herald does a significant chunk, obviously, but probably he's going to trade it right before it dies, try to kill it. For right now, I mean, looking at win conditions, you know, trying to pedal back and try and see what Rawr can do. Rawr's not super far behind. Obviously, you do have an Ezreal who's going to be able to scale later into the game. You just have to make it there in the first place. You do have the Malzahar and the Swain who are doing really fantastic right about now. So for right now, you do want to be able to stay a little bit grouped. Maybe have Swain, Ezreal, and Taric in this mid lane, trying to get that wave pushing. But for right now, they want to be able to keep it and try and get later into that game, because for right now, Illumination's looking so strong. Bisharp constantly pressing another wave by himself. Chaz always getting some kind of objective, and Rune Mage and Den's doing so much damage right now. It looks like we might see an engage in the bot side. Arcane shift aggressively forward. Rune Mage is looking to go forward, but now Yomu's is on cooldown. Dragon is up. It is a Mountain Drake. Hopefully, this should be going over to the side of Rawr, as they're going to be looking to try and get an advantage, trying to catch up in dragons, and obviously get a little bit of help trying to take a little bit of objectives here. But Chief taking some damage here. The True Shot Barrage trying to send out a preliminary choke amount of damage. Should be sticking onto this Baron, or this dragon, sorry, while Exile is able to try and push it back. But the wave, the ward hasn't been cleared yet. The ward is pushed out. Now actually Rune Mage is able to secure the dragon there. So Malandric goes over to the side of Illumination. Great job from him, and now they're actually able to push this wave. Bisharp has not left top lane. He says, yo, this is an island, and guess what? I'm the owner. This is my island. So he's going to constantly push that, and that top wave is probably going to go down. Bygone Coder has to catch this top wave, or this bot wave, sorry. And we do see that Rawr is going to move mid lane. Pretty big wave here, trying to get a little bit more gold for their carries. And we see Mage now activated the Youmu's, seeing if he can try and make a pick either onto the Ezreal or onto the Swain. A lot of damage going on a Tumble from the double up there, so Mage not in vision, trying to go in. Chief taking so much damage from the double up, and heal having to be used by Chief there. Again, Bisharp able to grab that turret now top lane. Exile trying his damnedest to try and equalize this lane top, but Bisharp is getting a lot of resources to himself, and he's able to get a lot of these turrets. So right now it is 3-2-1 in turrets. A 3k gold lead for the side of Illumination. Hopefully they will be able to equalize this out. Again, if they're able to stabilize this game, slow it down just a little bit, Dens and Grim Lobo, you know, try and make them miss a couple of their skill shots, either using your arcane shift or even using the Taric ultimate. You should be able to get these team fights later on in the game, and it could be looking up for them on the side of Rawr, but for right now, we're looking at an advantage for Illumination. They all have just backed. Baron is up in 50 seconds. They do have top lane pushing, and if they're able to get Bisharp to just stay bot lane, they can comfortably group around the Baron right now and grab a lot of objective pressure on him. We do see that Mage is going to back off sync with these people. Was able to pick up mid wave and push it a little bit further, so it's all about back timings here. He is going to be going for another Serrated Dirk item. Probably going to be going for the Dusk Blade here, trying to get a lot of damage. Bisharp waiting comfortably. It's 4 levels over Tumble right now, but Tumble stacking some armor. The Knight's Vow from Taric. Taric is mid right now. Ooh, Bisharp is like, please just walk a little bit closer. Use the Arcane Shift. There we go. Bisharp gets the slow first, and Arcane Shift already coming out on the side of Tumble. Doesn't have his flash yet, so this is a lot of damage, and now the dunk coming out from Bisharp onto Tumble. Now, Bisharp's able to now grab this bot lane a little bit easier. Really misfortunate for Tumble as he didn't have his flash there. If only he had a couple, 2 or 3 seconds there. But Exile putting a lot of damage onto Grim Lobo there. Chaz is waiting for him to get into range, and now he does jump over the wall. Demonic Flare coming out alongside the Zyra ultimate, and now double ultimate as Demonic Flare pops. Grim Lobo going down. The Ignite also going down, but trading your top laner for Zyra, trying to get something out of the 1v3 in that jungle. Hopefully they are able to secure. Rawr is able to secure this mid lane turret, and this will be their second turret of the game, trying to equalize any kind of pressure from Illumination on these side waves. Now again, Baron is up. We do see Bisharp is moving towards mid lane. Coder super low, does have his flash, and now Taric here. Flash coming out from Bisharp right into the queue. It looks like he's going to get that down. Decimate doing so much damage, and now the Apprehend from Bisharp doing so much. Color flashing over the wall. Great job from Bisharp with that Decimate, that Q doing so much damage and able to take down Coder. Again, Baron is up and on the table. Bot lane pushing super heavily. Top lane also pushing heavily for the side in favor of Illumination. So let's see what they're going to do. They're going to try and move through the enemy jungle, or they're going to try and move through Rawr's jungle, trying to get a little bit more wards, trying to get some deep wards, make sure that they have this whole vision area around Baron cleared, so that if they ever try to attempt it, they don't have to worry about any kind of interference, or they'll know it's coming. You see Exile now in the bot side, trying to clear a little bit of the wave, trying to catch this wave. Mage is going to back now, trying to pick up that Dusk Blade, and has a huge heavy wave now on top side, so that Coder can pick that up, get a couple more items, and a lot of damage. Just looking at itemization right now, looks like Tumble is going to be going for that Triforce. Not going for that. It looks like Exile now a little bit too far up. Bisharp's now here. So is Chaz. Exile does have flash, but now he's going to just get straight up dunked by Bisharp. Great job. Bisharp putting on a masterful performance with this Darius right now, with both his positioning and just in general his engagement potential here. So is able to constantly push out this bot wave, and now it's 4v5 across the map. Tumble goes a little bit too far up, taking a lot of damage, a lot of poke damage from the side of Dens and Mage. Let's see what happens here. Chaz is now, Color is now bot lane. We could see possibly a Baron attempt here. Color is trying to defend his bot lane turret while Bisharp is in the lane. But Tumble has to flash, already going down. Ultimate from Rune Mage. A bullet time right on the Bygone Coder and on the Chief. So much damage. Chaz is able to pick up the kill on the Chief. Tumble barely getting out, thankfully, from the use of Tarek's ultimate. The Cosmic Radiance coming down and barely saving him from the Zed's Death Mark. And now, the side of Illumination, they're able to go onto this Baron, 4-man strong. Let's see what they're able to do here. Hopefully they will be able to get this Baron for the side of Illumination. Now we do see, though, Tumble, Color, and Exile finally coming over to the Baron. Rawr looking to stop them, and Chaz is actually really, really low, and so is Rune Mage. Denza and Grim Lobo taking a lot of damage, and it looks like they're going to be dissuaded from taking the Baron. Rawr right now is definitely singing the praises of Riot Games for buffing the health on it so that it's a little bit tankier. You know, tries to give them a little bit of an attempt to even stop it. And now since they're all backing, Rawr should have the Dragon Pressure and they're able to get this Infernal Drake, which obviously is going to amp their damage and allow them to, you know, a little bit more contested in these fights, especially Exile with his Swain right now. So, good job. The Infernal Drake is going to be going over to the side of Rawr, and now it is a contest for the Baron. Bygone Coder feeling real sad right now that Tumble's taking that blue buff, but you know, you gotta funnel all this, you know, all this gold and make sure that your AD carry gets back into the game. So Bygone not getting the buff, but he is going to be able to sit mid lane, catch all that wave, and make sure that he's able to clear, constantly stop the pressure from Illumination. Bisharp still waiting in this bot bush, trying to push it out. Great job from him, constantly recognizing when he has to split push, when he has to group with the team. So much damage on the Chief from this Zed. Rune Mage getting a lot of damage, but it looks like Grim Lobo is going to be the one to get the killing blow onto him. Now with no Cosmic Radiance, Illumination's going to be looking to try and get something. Oh, that is, again, half of Tumble's health in a single double up. A little bit of disgusting damage. But they do see that now. Chaz is pushing top wave, utilizing it. The flash from Rune Mage onto Tumble, trying to get that death mark. So much damage, and pop goes Tumble, immediately being taken out by Rune Mage. Great job for him utilizing his flash, playing about as aggressively as he's supposed to be, or as he could be, sorry. So now, I mean, look at this. This is a 1-3-1. We do see that Jax is now in the top lane. Chaz always pushing against this against Exile. We do see Bisharp constantly bot side, always pushing, trying to get this bot lane inhib. And you have Misfortune and you have Zyra pushing in midway with the Rune Mage, always running interference. But now Color's looking to try and get in something onto Grim Lobo. The taunt, oh my god, that lasts so long. So much damage. Ignite onto Chief, and actually Chief is going to go down. Color is going so low with the amount of damage from the Ignite going right onto him. Den's chasing, but having to back up right now. Looks like Rune Mage is coming in to try and get some damage, but the Arcane shift forward. Den's half of Tumble's health gone yet again. And it just looks like every time that they're trying to get some kind of advantage, it seems like Illumination is always there with 3 or 4 men. Hopefully, Rawr is able to stall out this game and get to their own win condition. Interested to see what the Ezreal is going to be building next. Obviously, he already has his Triforce and his Manamune. Interested to see whether or not he's going to be going for a Bork so he can keep up in lane, or if he's going to opt to go for that double tier build, go for that even later game and try and get some more pressure utilizing the AP scalings. Excuse me. But looking at the side of Chief, though, I mean, for this Tarek, his build right now, obviously he is a little bit behind, but actually, mess with that. I mean, he's definitely getting the ult from Malzahar there. So that is Chaz going down, and this could be Baron. I mean, they do have Bisharp in the bot lane. You have 3 men in the mid lane for the 1-3-1. But Color is taking a lot of damage from Dens right now. Bullet time coming out, the flash from Color haven't come out. But nice silence from Coder. Ends up blocking the bullet time. And the root does go on to Chief, taking so much damage from the Zed. It looks like Bisharp actually ends up diving and killing Bygone Coder. Color going so low. Double kill for Bisharp, getting some of the Triumph procs. Does end up going down to Exile, but now Rune Mage is going to have to start running from the Exile. Exile's trying to just put the whole team on his back. See if they can take this. They are going to be able to get that mid lane turret. 9k gold lead for the side of Illumination. Looking to knock onto the mid lane inhibitor. So, great job. Oh, the never move lands. Exile taking so much damage. Just have to flash. Exile ends up dying to Leandri's Rune Mage going right on the Tumble with a death mark. And again, Tumble taking another death. Flash having to be used, but Grim Lobo barely lives, even despite Exile's Leandri's, but same cannot be said for Exile, as he does end up dying to the Leandri's there. But Color now coming in to try and save this mid lane turret. Ooh, so low, standing gold. Again, the bot lane for Rawr right now is slowly pushing in favor of them, so he's gonna slowly start pushing into Illumination. Color now, ooh, barely misses, but now he's gonna be using the Powerball, trying to jump over the wave, or the wall, sorry, and now he's able to actually get his flash there. So great job from Color, having to force Chaz's flash. Now let's take a look at where they are on the map and where Rawr is going to be able to prosper. Obviously Exile doing his best right now on this swing, being 6-4. His damage has always been pretty optimal. He's doing so much for this team right now, so I really am hoping that they're able to get him into a better team fight and do a lot more for these late game. I mean, Ezreal right now, and we did see now he is going for the double tier, so 30 minutes, he is getting his second tier, trying to get a lot of that late game damage, trying to get some more damage from his Arcane Shift, from his True Shot Barrage, from Mystic Shot, just going for that late game. You do see that Rune Mage is trying to look for some kind of engage, but is not fortunate enough to find it. Tumble does have to Arcane Shift away from Bisharp and Grim Lobo, but again, for right now, they're looking to just try and slow down this game. They're trying to get a lot of these waves not pushing into them. If they're able to ever equalize these lanes, they should be able to slowly do this. And now it is a 5v2 down here. Grim Lobo getting caught so fast from the never move and from the Powerball taunt from Color. So great job picking out Grim Lobo there. Bisharp does get out in time. You just gotta abandon your teammates sometimes. Just to save yourself. It's fine. It's strategic. Don't worry about it. So now looking in the mid lane, they are actually able to now to clear this mid lane. Exile able to pick some of it up. Jax now in the jungle, in bot side jungle, getting the dragon. It's going to be another Mountain Drake going over to the side of Illumination. Illumination looking to try and catch them. Ooh, it looks like the stopwatch comes a little bit early from the side of the Dens, and Dens is going to be going down. That is 45 seconds on the AD carry, and could be going down. Never move does land on a Rune Mage. So much damage on a Rune Mage right now, especially with the Seeker's Arm Guard doing so much. Now let's see if Color's able to get it. Color just barely reaching it, trying to get the Vision of the Empire, flash from Rune Mage, and now Bishop's actually pushing out bot lane, so let's see what happens. Bygone here doesn't have ultimate, or he does have ultimate here. So much damage. Now the TP coming from it looks like Exile is going to be coming in here. Does actually end up TPing on one of the Voidlings, but Bisharp is able to get out. Chaz coming in to try and sleep up the kill onto Bygone. Ends up using the Demonic Flare. To try and dissuade them. But, the Baron is standing, and it does look like Rawr does have a little bit of an advantage. Powerball right onto Bisharp. Let's see what happens. Bisharp in the middle of a 1v3 right now. Never move comes out right onto him, and Tumble's able to pick up the kill. Great job catching him out, not allowing him to get any of those combos down. And it looks like Chief's going a little bit far forward. Does end up hitting with the Rune by Rune Mage and a couple of those roots. And looks like Chaz is actually getting hit up with some Powerball. A lot of damage from Grim Lobo with the ultimate there. So great job from him. For the side of Rawr, Exile, Color, and Tumble are really, really low right now, so they are going to have to back. And this just, for Rawr right now, it just feels like Illumination is breathing down their necks. What is it, like, you have all these waves constantly pushing in your turret, you can never actually push out these lanes, and if Rawr is able to ever actually, again, as I've said before, actually wait, Malefic Dream, ooh! The heal coming out from Dens just to stop Grim Lobo from dying to Malefic Visions. Super close, and Chaz is able to get the red buff there, but again, as I was trying to say, if Rawr is ever able to get these lanes into order and ever able to stabilize and equalize, they should be able to get advantages across the map and try and, you know, choke Illumination out. But right now, Illumination's constantly keeping these waves pushed, constantly trying to get advantages where they can, and we have a little bit of a stagnation here for right now, as the Baron is the largest objective on the map right now. Dragon not being up for a little bit. You see the Ezreal is gonna finally get his Archangels there. So looking to see what their next item is gonna be. Maybe a Bork, maybe a GA, as you're able to get that, you know, the armor. And just look at this. I mean, no armor still built on the side of Bygone, so not very afraid of the Zed or Dens. You know, they recognize that maybe they can just beat them with utility items such as the Leonji's Rylai's. You can do a lot of damage with that, obviously. So while you're not opting for the Zhonya's passive, maybe it's not too worth it, as you do have a lot of champions who can engage on you, and using your Zhonya's is somewhat of a death sentence. Interested to see how they're going to be able to utilize this. Do you see that now Chief is here trying to put down a ward, but Chaz is just kind of sitting here patiently. Probably going to be able to jump over. The Baron being started. Color is somewhere slowly coming up with the Powerball. AK health. Bisharp is going to slowly push out this wave, and now they should be able to just keep backing off this Baron and back right back on it. I mean, Exile is going to be able to try and catch this wave bot lane. Bisharp's pushing it out, but the majority of Rawr is now here on this Baron. Looks like is able to dodge the Never move, but now Bisharp is going to try and engage onto Exile. The Baron being started. Looks like we're going to see a 5-man fight here. Color going down so fast. The Ignite having to flash right there. Bisharp doing a lot of damage. Demonic Flare from Exile. Color going super low. Looks like they're going to get off the Baron. They're going to look like they're going to try and start it yet again. And it looks like Bisharp is going to be taken down. Going super low. Malefic Dreams. Vision of the Empire are going to be taken down. And nope, it looks like Bygone's going to get them. Looks like they're not going to be going for the Baron. They're going to try and catch out Chief. Bullet time from Dens. Does end up catching Chief. And now they are 4-man strong going into the base. They're going to try and... great job from Martha. They were able to actually stop this bot lane and hit. But this is a huge wave top lane. And while the Baron wasn't taken, this is going to be a pretty difficult wave. Tumble is going to have a hard time trying to clear this as an Ezreal. And you know, Visions of the Empire from Swain, and just in general, Death's Hand is such a, depending on the cooldown, pretty long. So they are able to clear it with very little consequence. But they do, Illumination does have priority over the top side of this map. They have a lot of vision. They've got a lot of denial in terms of vision. And never mind, I say that as there's 3 wards in the middle of Baron. So looks like they're trying to go for a Rune Mage here. Excuse me, Grim Lobo super low, and now let's see. Chief is going to be coming back from base now. He doesn't have his Cognitive Radiance, but excuse me, I don't know why I have so much gas. Sorry. They might be looking to try and get priority over the Baron if they ever see that Chaz ever leaves. And it looks like Color's actually going to start the Baron here. Exile playing a little bit of a defensive front. Rune Mage just out of vision. I'll be able to be seen, and it's right now only Coder doing any kind of damage, and they're going to back off the Baron. Rune Mage is going to back, and now they're going to try and Rawr is going to try and get the advantage in this mid lane. Trying to push it out. Dragon up in 20 seconds. It is Elder Drake. Something huge for both sides of this team. Whether it be Rawr trying to get the Elder Drake just to stop Illumination from getting it and adding to their damage just a little bit, especially with the Ezreal and the Swain and the Malzahar. But for the side of Illumination, this is amazing. You're able to double a lot of your damage from your double Mountain Drake, and Tumble getting absolutely obliterated by Rune Mage. Doesn't actually die to Deathmark, so that's what happens when your team is full of AD and you have a Taric who's able to provide so much in terms of armor. So for right now, Illumination, they do have priority over the Elder Drake, and Flash is gone. It looks like the Cosmic Radiance being popped really early. Now Grim Lobo being taken down super early. Bullet time for the 3 of them. It looks like Demonic Flare is going to be coming down on the Dens. The slow for Exile, not able to reach, and now Demonic Flare, a great team fight ultimate. Bisharp's in the backline, does get hit with Never Move, and now let's see what happens. He's going to get focused here. A lot of damage, the ultimate from Malzahar. Flash from Bisharp. Color's going to start getting caught out with the root. So much damage. This could be looking to turn. Coder does flash forward, doesn't have ultimate. Charizard, Chaz with the counter strike ready to turn this. Color is down, so the dragon might be going over, but they are going to try and back. A lot of damage going on in the in-hit bot side. So Rawr is faced with a pretty tough predicament. Either go and answer the wave and lose the dragon, or fight for the dragon and don't lose, and maybe perhaps lose a lot of health on your in-hit. But it looks like Chaz is going to back off of the dragon. It looks like as a whole Illumination is going to stop. Hopefully we'll see what happens. And it does look like Tumble is probably going to be going for a Bork because he does have a Vampiric. We could see something like a QSS. That's a Mercurial Scimitar. You can get a lot of that lifesteal and obviously have something to dodge, or you have something to cleanse some of this CC coming out from Illumination. But Bisharp now in the top wave, he does have his TP, so he's ready to always come for these fights. They're going to start this Elder Drake, and it looks like Grim Lobo and Denz are going to try and set up a forward flank onto Rawr. Chaz is going to start this now. He's by himself, and it looks like they're going to try and stop this. Root goes right on a Chief. So much damage on the Chief. A lot of this, and now Chaz might actually just go down here. Chief, you know, getting taken down, but Chaz in the process also goes. Bisharp pushing on top wave. Exile has to come and fight him. So this dragon is going to be taken. He's going to start being pressured. Top turret, top in it being taken. Color looking to go on a Grim Lobo. So much damage now. Bullet time onto both of these people. Tumble being taken out by a Rune Mage, and this is looking really grim for the side of Rawr. Bygone's going to be chased out of it, and now the inhib for top side also being taken. What looked like a good fight ended up being a lot of damage and a little bit of a misstep, but now, for right now, Illumination, they're going to be looking to try and push out this bot wave, and Rune Mage is going to go back, catch this mid wave. Bisharp here to catch the wave preemptively. They're going to try and take all three of these inhibs. Man, if this was fantasy right now, if I had like Illuminations on my fantasy team, I'd be like, yes, keep taking all these objectives. These are free points. I'm gonna win this week, and just, it's insane. If anyone else plays fantasy, just let me know. That is always super fun, and I'd always be down to join a league with you guys, even though we are, I think, 4 weeks into it. Now, catch it back into the game. Mid lane is going to be equalized, but the Baron and the Elder Drake are still up, and now Rawr is going to have to deal with this bot wave that's stacking for the side of Illumination. Now, this top wave that also doesn't have an inhib. So let's see what happens. Bisharp, Powerball misses there, I think. I don't know what, I think it's a little bit of a bug, but so much damage from Bisharp trying to kill Coder here. Now Rune Mage is here, so the dunk comes out. So much damage. Tumble's gonna go down, and now the double dunk from Bisharp. Great job from him, and this is 3 men down. 50-second death timers here. The Elder Drake going down also, so now they are doing so much extra damage with the burn and with the enhanced elemental drakes. Looks like the Apprehend is gonna land onto Exile. Looking to try and not die here. Has to blow the flash, the stun landing onto Bisharp. So much damage, and now Chief is going to have to fight him under his own turret. Now looks like the ultimate here is going to be coming down. Cosmic Radiance to try and protect Exile. Bisharp trying to, his damnedest to try and live. Does end up blocking it, but flash from Exile going down, and double of the Nexus turrets going. And it looks like this game is going to be going for the side of Illumination. That was great from the side of Illumination, just constant denial, able to always catch out Tumble with his aggressive arcane shifts, and Bisharp very much playing his side lanes correctly and just constantly being able to pressure the map, making sure he had TP when he didn't, always making sure to group with his team. So great job from Illumination there. Obviously a great attempt from Rawr. They did show some flashes of light, some flashes in the pan of brilliance, and trying to just catch out and punish Illumination when they went just a little bit too greedy. But that is going to be all for this game. The next game is going to be Gangsters versus Vandal Nomad, so make sure you stick around for that. I've been Alf Battery, and I will see you guys in a couple minutes.